My name is Craig DePass. I'm a special education teacher at PS 104 in Far Rockaway. Perhaps I could shed some light on some of the things that I've done in the past that have allowed me to be successful in the classroom. I think most importantly is classroom management and structure. I know a lot of teachers struggle with this, and I did as well as an emerging teacher. It's a very important skill to learn and master. And for those teachers just beginning, perhaps I could shed some light. If you don't have classroom structure and management, you're lost. Your year is going to be very challenging, and your students are going to have a difficult time learning, and you're going to be miserable as a teacher. Now, where does it start? It starts on the first day. It starts with the way you greet your children. Good morning, boys and girls. How is everyone? You need a response from your children. If they don't respond, then therein lies the problem. And after they greet you, what are you going to tell them next? Can you please line up? In size order, let's walk to the classroom. Now, if you're having difficulty from one location to the next, what do you think is going to happen when you walk in the room? Chaos. Classroom management and structure is utmost important. For without it, you can't teach. So many times I've walked into classroom and I've seen teachers struggling. Class out of control, and they're going on with the lesson. Children running around, screaming out, and they're going on with the lesson. And this is a phenomenon that's worldwide, or countrywide, or most pedagogues have experienced some form of this in their teaching experience. You must be clear on who you are as a teacher and what are you bringing to the learning experience. You must insist on a well-behaved class. But most importantly, you must believe that they can be managed. Oftentimes, I've heard colleagues give up in despair. Oh, they're impossible. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, they can't. No, they can't. If you believe they can, then it can happen. Once you relinquish your power and you send them out the room and you put them out the hallway, you become ineffective. Okay? One of the ways you want to become an effective teacher is by being able to teach lessons which engage children. So once your structure and your management skills have demonstrated that you can manage a class, then what are you going to teach them? Can you write a decent lesson plan? Are your lessons exciting and meaningful? Are children excited about learning? Do they raise their hand? Do they look forward to the content and subject matter? These are all factors that are important. Now, a good class and a well-running class is one in which children participate and are engaged, where a teacher asks a question and everybody raises their hand. I mean, that's a testimony to good teaching when I can engage students, because you can't fake enthusiasm. You can't fake excitement. Another thing that I believe is important, as we say that all children can learn, and if you really believe all children can learn, then you're teaching. I must convince my students that I love them. Why do I say love? When we get paid to do a job that does not require love, it's not written in our contract. We don't have to love. But one thing I want to make clear, if you're teaching children who are disadvantaged, who come from limited incomes, who've met with tragedy and hardship in their life, if you don't show them love, you're not going to reach them, especially minority children. So one of the important teaching tools that I use on a daily basis, and a word that has not been sanctioned by the Department of Ed, I tell my students, I love you. I love you. And because I love you, I'm not going to let you make a fool out of yourself. I'm not going to let you embarrass your family. I'm not going to allow you to act up. I love you and I'm going to give you consequences. Because in my classroom, I have to be able to control my environment. If I'm not in control at all times, I'm not going to be effective. See, most teachers get caught up with trying to please and make everybody happy. This is not a democracy. Your classroom is not a democracy. You are the sole person in charge, and you have the ability to affect change. You have the ability to engage students and create a sense of community where they feel validated, welcome, and where meaningful learning is taking place every day. Now that sounds easy. It sounds more or less scripted or philosophical. But I've made it happen. And the way I've made it happen is by knowing who I am first as a teacher, knowing what my gifts and talents are, and being aware that I have something to bring to the classroom that goes beyond the traditional reading, writing, and arithmetic. See, you have to go outside the box and give up yourself. And that human connection where children perceive you as being human with emotions is where the real connection takes place. It's where you begin to develop a sense of community where love is displayed and generated. Now I know that's an uncomfortable word for a lot of teachers to use. And I know it's impossible, not probable, to really love everyone. But you gotta act as if, and you have to convince children that they're the greatest thing in the world, that you really love them. And you love them so much that when they're inappropriate, you have to admonish them. You have to give them consequences. That makes for an effective learning environment. Now, I have to create a situation where I am happy. I love to go to work every day because I have something to offer. And I have something to offer that comes directly from my experience and speaks volumes to who I am. I'm a musician. I have to use that medium in my classroom. And I use it to teach other disciplines. I used to teach reading, math. I can integrate it throughout the curriculum. It gives me a great deal of satisfaction because it's something I love. I'm passionate. My passion transfers over to my students, and they become passionate as well. Does it have to be music? No, it doesn't have to be music. But I know everybody in this life, in this world, is passionate about something. Whatever passion that you have, you need to bring that to the classroom and share it with your students so they can see what passion is about and they embrace it. And even though they may not share the same passion, one thing they'll become aware that there's something in life that I must become passionate about if I want to be a happy, successful human being. Now, I would say that in closing, I'm looking forward to this up and coming year because I met with success this year and I build on success. I've learned from my mistakes and I'm excited to embark on this year with so many new ideas and activities I have